and presentation communicate volumes about who we are. The question is not whether we care about fashion, it's more about what we are communicating uh, intentionally or unconsciously through our fashion choices. My name is Johnny, and I have with me on the program.
Semudia Pius.
And
Akintayo Ogbala.
all right, welcome to the program, guys.
Thank you.
Today we want to look at dress sense. You know, how important is dress sense in a relationship?
All right. I think dress sense is important in a relationship because it has to do with your appearance. And in a relationship, that means you have a partner.
Okay.
That means you have to work together.
Exactly.
That means your partner is a representative of you. So like if there's a partner that dresses well and one doesn't dress the other way, like you obviously deep down the person won't feel comfortable in sending them to like represent us, whether as a family or like a business partner. So I think it's important because it has to do with how you're perceived.
All right, talk to me about it.
Okay, I think dress sense is also very important. Like
Okay.
she said, it tells a lot about your personality
Wow.
and your character.
Okay.
You can tell by just maybe you might not be able to tell exactly what the kind of person someone is,
Okay.
but by looking at their dressing, you can get an idea
Oh,
of
great.
the kind of person they are.
Okay.
So you can tell if they are fashion conscious. You can tell if they're a little careless with their dressing. You can tell if you can even tell the religious background. If the person
Wow.
is a Muslim or
Okay.
a Christian just by the way they dress. So in a relationship, I can tell if my partner is someone who is this I cannot go and kill myself kind of person
Okay.
because he will dress not too carefully, quite
Yeah.
carelessly.
All right.
I can tell if you are a serious person, if you think, if you are conscious about the way you dress or your character from just the way you dress.
Wow, great, great. Which means it is possible and then it is true when we hear the word that says you are addressed the way you are dressed.
Yes.
Wow, great, great. Now, how should we address the issue of dressing with a partner? Like you notice your partner doesn't dress well or dresses too much. How do we approach it?
I think, in my opinion, it deals with how you communicate well with your partner, how like understanding, and you also have to be patient because someone's dress sense is very very sensitive because
Okay.
for the person to be dressing like that, they feel like oh they look good, and even though it's not acceptable in society, but to them they feel they look good if they're dressing like that continuously. So I feel like it's how you communicate it well enough to them and how understanding and how patient you have to show the person. Because
Okay.
if you come and meet me and you want to tell me something, it's the way you approach me. That's how I'm going to like listen and actually like hear what you're trying to say to me. But if you approach me in like a manner that's bad and they're trying to teach me something, but
Yeah.
I won't listen because I didn't like the way you approached me.
The manner with which it is
Yes.
approached
Yes.
wouldn't communicate very well
Yes.
to you. Okay, let me hear from you.
Okay, I agree with her completely. I believe, like when she said sensitivity, some people are very sensitive about the way they dress. So you have to be patient and you have to approach it with tact,
Okay.
with a lot of wisdom. And of course, if you are dating someone that is sensitive about feelings, you might need to put in a little extra in trying to make the person understand that they can dress better or they don't have to dress too much. So yes, you have to really, really work on that.
So, having said all this, is it important to like, okay, we want to get into a relationship? I have seen how you dress. You have seen how we dress, how I dress. Can we discuss it?
Like in what sense? Like,
Yeah, like-
the other partner doesn't like the way the other
No,
partner
like
dresses.
before we get into the relationship, you have
Yes.
asked me out.
Yes.
I have agreed. And then before we get on in the relationship, is it important? Having seen that, I don't like the way this person dresses
Yes.
and all that. Is it something we should discuss before
Before
getting into
the-
the relationship?
Yes, I definitely think that is something that you should discuss because you need to know the person's response. So you would need to know if you can like deal with it. Not like deal with it like it's a stressful thing or unbearable something, but you need to, because obviously you have a discussion with the person, but the person can't just like switch up like immediately. It takes
Abruptly, yeah.
time.
Okay.
So you need to know if the person is even willing, because I think from the conversation you know if the person is willing to try. Yes, so it's important to have the
Have that
the
kind of
communication,
discussion.
yes, discussion.
Okay, let me hear from you.
Yes, it is. It's important to have the conversation because
Okay.
you need to, when you're going into a relationship, you need to set some I don't know, should I say
Standards.
standards? Yes.
Okay.
So if you are the kind of person, if I'm the kind of person that likes to, like, that is very, very conscious about dressing, and I meet this person that is not too conscious, a little careless, I'll need to tell him about it because I know that by the time we get into the relationship, to avoid any sort of arguments or fights, it's important that we understand each other very well.
Very, very important. Now, if we are so conscious about this, it means at the back of our minds, we have already pictured how someone should dress. Is there a specific way? Let me start with you. Is there a specific way we can, prescribe that we dress?
Okay, so when you said it, when you first said it, the first thing that came to my mind was my dad. I like the way he dresses.
Okay.
So somewhere in my mind, I kind of have this idea that the person I will want to date should dress like my dad because it's part of background.
Okay.
So, if I'm to discuss it with the person, I wouldn't want to say, "Oh, I want you to dress like my father."
Like my dad.
I
Okay.
love
But
my
you have
father,
to
something like
describe.
that. Yes.
So,
So-
before we know, let's know, how does your father dress? Is it flamboyant or he keeps it moderate?
I don't think it's flamboyant.
Okay.
Some people look at the way he dresses and they feel, oh, maybe he's a rich person or he has lots of money. But from what I have learned from his dressing, I understand that you don't have to have so much to be conscious about the way you look.
Oh, great.
And my dad is someone that is conscious about the way he dresses, and he tells
Okay.
me to that he wants me to be conscious about the way I dress.
Okay.
So dress decently.
Decently.
Dress
That's
modestly.
the line, okay? Dress decently. That's the word. So,
Yes.
should we prescribe?
Yes, I also think that it has to do with your background.
Okay.
Like people that you were raised up around with and
yeah.
your environment, because that's what's like intuits that's what builds up your personality as a person. And also as like someone is tends to like growing up at becoming an adult. It's also like from what you learn, like your profession. Yes. So like she said, like her dad, like I like the way my mom dresses too.
Oh,
also
wonderful.
because my mom, she's a teacher. She teaches. So like she doesn't dress like you. She doesn't dress like if you see her, you wouldn't know that she's a teacher. You think maybe she works in a bank. Not that she's too corporate,
Okay.
but she's okay. Like you can't tell that that's kind of profession that she's doing
But the
according to
dressing
her.
is not so loud.
Yes, and like it commands respect.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So I
So,
think that
what are
dressing-
the ways that you wouldn't want your partner to dress in a relationship?
I would not want my partner to dress carelessly.
I need to understand the word, what you mean, the kind of dressing that we can see and call careless.
Okay. I wouldn't want to put so much of pressure. But I don't want my partner to dress with this attitude of, I don't care,
Okay.
that sort of thing. I don't want you to be too conscious because when you are too conscious, then you start doing more
Okay.
and you might start overdressing. But I want you to be conscious enough to know that, okay, if I'm going for this or if I'm just be comfortable in the way you dress. But let it also look appealing
Appealing.
to other people.
Okay.
Yes. Let people see you and say, oh, okay, I like the way you dress.
The first word you gave us was decent, and now you followed it up with appealing. Now, appealing to who?
To me
Okay.
and to other people.
Okay.
Because, we already said people get an idea of the kind of person you are from the way you dress.
From the way you dress.
So, I also said appealing to me
Yes.
because I would want you to dress in a way that when I see you, I can smile. I'll be
Okay.
happy.
Yeah.
So
It meets your standard.
yes,
Oh,
and in
great.
a way, it also helps me know that I should do the same. I should be able to meet up. So if I smile, if I'm happy with the way you dress, I would also want you to be happy with the way I dress. So something like that.
Wow, great, great, great. Well said. Let me hear from you. Are there ways you wouldn't want your partner to dress?
Yes, yes. I wouldn't want my partner to dress in a way that doesn't like command respect. Like I'm not saying you should wear suits, so but like from your dressing, people should be able to tell that like you're a responsible person.
Responsible, that is another key word.
Like you shouldn't
Responsible.
like follow like all the old trends. Like I know like people follow all the old trends just to follow the society and everything. There are some trends that like if we really want to be honest with ourselves that they are not responsible, but that's that what they are fashionable. That's what's going around.
You're
But
like more like fashionable to the secular
yes,
world.
to say like worldly dressing.
Yes.
But obviously the person knows that you can't dress like that to like an interview. Like you should be able to dress that no matter any call you receive, whether for any opportunity for anything, you can show up there. You just need to do a few touches. You don't need to like change dressing and start looking for where to buy things and everything.
Wow, an on the go kind of
Yes,
dressing
yes.
that whatever occasion calls for,
Yeah,
you will
you'll be
be
able to be
confident
ready.
enough
Yes.
to stand. Wow, wow, wow. Great. I'm learning a lot from you guys today, and I'm very pleased about that. Now, if a partner sees nothing wrong with the way his or her dress sense is, how do we go about it? Like, I'm just comfortable the way I am, and then you're telling me this is not appropriate. How are you supposed to go about it?
Okay, so I think the first thing you need to do is to observe. You need to know the kind of person your partner is. If I wouldn't advise you to be with somebody that flares up at any
Given
little
opportunity,
situation,
yeah.
yes. But if he's someone or if she's someone that is sensitive, you might need to put in some effort. And then you should also pray, because God understands everyone. I may not be able to understand you perfectly,
Yeah.
but if with God's guidance and with a little bit of sensitivity and tact, I can approach you with a comfortable method and just tell you what's on my mind, how I feel, not to impose, not to
Not to
force.
impose. You don't have to subject the person to a
Yes.
particular kind of dressing, but you
Yes.
can. Oh,
Just
great.
advice.
Okay, you can always advise the person. And you know, one thing you said that has struck me was the fact that you say you can pray about it. And you know, some people begin to look at pray over how somebody dresses. But you know, this is about your future happiness.
Yes.
And then you don't want anything that will pose a kind of, you know, unhappiness to you, especially if you wouldn't want your children to dress in a very irresponsible way. So I think God answers such prayers too, of course. Let me hear from you. What would you do?
I think our communication also comes to play. Communication and action.
Oh, great.
Okay, for me, if I don't, and I'm trying to tell the person, I'll communicate. Then if I'm saying that, okay, maybe I can show the person because our action speaks louder than words.
Yes.
I can like make a deal with the person that, okay, let me dress you for today. Like, let me choose what you're going to wear for today. Then you choose what you're going to wear the next day. Then obviously we'll see some differences. Like we'll see maybe like people will be surprised at first. Then maybe we'll see people taking my partner seriously the day I dressed the person minus the day like they dressed anyhow.
Yeah.
Like but there will obviously be like a difference, like
Okay.
a different response from people around my partner. So like when that is done, I'll call my partner and say, oh, see like the differences. We'll sit down together and communicate and talk about the different results and tell him that this is what I was trying to say about it, that you command different respects from when you like dress this certain way.
Now, when people dress well, we tend to compliment them. When they don't dress well, we sometimes, you know, reserve our compliments. Does compliment have anything to do, to you know, with encouraging someone to dress well, and then discouraging someone from dressing improperly?
Yes, I do think compliments.
I want to hear
does.
that.
A lot of us we are conscious about what people think about
About
us.
us, yeah.
So when someone compliments you, I'll take myself for instance. If someone tells me I dressed really well today, I know myself for a fact that by tomorrow
You actually dressed really well today. Let me say that. Great.
Thank you.
And you too.
Thank you.
Yes.
So by tomorrow, it's just a subconscious thought in my mind that I want to meet up again
Wow.
with the
Because
way
the
I dress. Yes,
compliment
because of
sounds
the
good.
compliment. So yes, a compliment does influence the way you dress. And in times when you don't get compliments with the way you dress, it can also send a message. Maybe it's not exactly you're dressing, you're not conscious about the way you dress. It's not exactly, I don't want to say fashionable because you don't have to dress fashionable.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can just be decent and modest.
Modest. Wow.
Yes.
Another word. Decent. You know, you gave us this. Did you give us decent earlier? And then we're having another word like modest. There is actually an appropriate way to dress, and that is called modesty. Let me hear from you.
Yes, I think compliments matters because it helps to enhance like people's self-confidence.
Okay.
Like for example, take me, like if I'm going for an event, I tend to be, oh, I don't want to overdress. At the same time, I still don't want to like underdress. I don't want to play it like too
There's
cool.
such a thing as overdressed and underdressed.
Yes.
Okay. So
Like,
you
if
just want to
go-
be in the
yes,
middle, in the
yes,
balance.
yes. So
Okay.
like if, for example, if I'm going to an event and I feel like, oh my God, I went too loud, I'm wearing heels, I'm doing this, only me. But if someone compliments me, like I'll feel more confident. Like the inner tone in me that was telling me, oh, I did so much, would actually like die down and to enhance my self-confidence that
Wow.
I already didn't have.
So
I think-
confidence, compliments actually plays a role
Yes.
in the way someone dresses. So to encourage someone who doesn't dress well, the day he or she dresses well, you can just drop that subtle, compliment that will boost the person's ego a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the day the person doesn't dress well, you just reserve your compliment so you can send the message to the person like, there is something wrong about the way you're dressed today. Well, I don't think you have a problem with that.
I feel like it depends on you can't just walk up to
Yes.
It depends on how
Yes.
close you are with the
With
person.
the person, okay?
Yes, it depends on how close you are. And I feel like the person will know. Like if you're the kind of person that always compliments the person, oh my God, I love your shoe. Like the day you don't compliment, like for me,
Yeah.
like the day you don't compliment me, like I'll ask you, oh, is there something wrong or something? And before I even leave my house, if no one says anything, I'll
Wow,
be like,
you have to have a routine.
yes. I'll be like, am I dressing well? So I feel like it's how close you are with that person.
Okay.
Like you don't have to be related to that person, even though in a
Yes.
workplace.
Okay.
Like if you know that this person doesn't dress well today, like just like sisterhood. Like if I see my friends not, I'll be like, oh, don't do it like that. Do it like this. So it
Wow.
depends on
So
how
there's
close.
a way to actually, instead
Yes.
of outrightly reserving the compliment, there's a
Yes.
way you can actually go about it and send
Yes.
that message too. Now, is makeup part of dress sense? Looking away from the clothes we wear, can we classify makeup, hair, and all that under dress sense?
Yes, I believe you can.
Okay.
Because when the first thing that people see when they see you is your face.
Your face. Wow.
So if you are someone that likes, or should I say likes, if you're someone that does makeup, and maybe the days when you don't do it, if you do it regularly, the days when you don't do it, people see you and they're like, oh, what happened? Or some of us like to use makeup, I would say, too often.
Too often. Okay.
Because by the time we now see ourselves without the makeup, it's almost like as if something is lacking. So I would actually encourage, you can use makeup on certain occasions. So for instance, in a relationship, if you're going out, definitely you can use makeup just to should I say?
A little touch up?
A little touch up
Your
Okay.
dressing.
on your dressing.
Wow.
And Well, makeup, I also believe it depends on maybe the person you're dating.
Okay.
So if the person you're dating likes to
Makeup?
have you wear makeup, if my partner likes to have seen me on makeup, and I'm not the makeup type,
Okay.
I just to, should I say, make him happy, I should be able to at least
Just to compromise
compromise
a
a
little bit.
little.
Yeah.
Yes.
So on occasions, maybe not only on occasions, but when we meet or when we see,
Once
just
in a while.
once in a while, use makeup. But also let the person know that I prefer.
Really wish you would be natural.
Yes,
Wow,
my
there is
natural look.
nothing actually like natural beauty, man. Natural beauty is just everything. Now, tell me about it.
Oh yes, I think makeup is important, but it shouldn't be at the expense of someone's comfort. Like as she said, people see your face first.
Exactly.
But some people don't know how to balance it. Like some people, the dress is nice, but the makeup is too loud.
Too loud.
Or yes,
Makeup can
there's
be too loud too,
yes,
yeah?
like
Yes.
the ones with glitter and everything. Like you have to balance it,
Yes.
and colors also come to play. Like for instance, I'm wearing red. I can't put green in my eyes or blue. Like some people want to do everything at once because they feel like if it's popping, if it's loud, then people will notice them. But that's actually not.
It's more like competing with the rainbow.
Yes, but that's actually not. I don't think it has to be loud for people to notice you and everything. So that's
Why is makeup a big deal? There are people who do not think that makeup is necessary. Why is it a big deal?
Okay. I think that it's how society and all these makeup brands have come to promote makeup.
Okay.
That I think that's how it's a big deal. Like you can't go some certain places, you're not wearing makeup. You'll feel like, oh, you're not ready for it and
Wow.
everything. Like
Okay.
like for instance on social media, I saw when someone, I think it was last year, she didn't do makeup for her wedding and the internet flared up and everything. Like like people have seen it like on that day you must do makeup.
So
but
it's more like something the society is pushing at people right now.
but it shouldn't be on that day. It shouldn't be what you want because it's your day and how you want
Okay.
it. So I feel like initially like all these makeup brands, like you want to advertise what you're selling, it's good. Makeup is, I won't say makeup is bad. It enhances your beauty, do you understand? But
Okay.
they shouldn't promote it at the expense of if you are not wearing makeup, you can't be beautiful because all these makeup brands, like they are changing. But like at first when they started, like you see the girl, if she's not wearing makeup, she's not feeling like confident. Then when she now wears the makeup, she'll now feel confident. Like I feel like it's how they portrayed
More
it.
like a media push.
Yes, in the
okay.
mind.
All right. Let me hear from you.
Yes, I think some of us see makeup as a big deal,
Okay.
although some don't. Some people don't feel comfortable with their natural look.
Wow.
They prefer you seeing this part of them all the time. So they use makeup all the time. Even in some cases, some don't feel comfortable having even as little as a video call without wearing
Doing the
some
makeup.
form of makeup.
Wow,
to
some form of makeup,
Yes, some
okay.
form of makeup. So I don't think that should be. I don't think makeup should be that much of a big deal.
Okay.
I think it should just be based on what you are comfortable with. If you like makeup, it shouldn't be too loud, like Ose said. Try and make it in correlation with what you are wearing.
Okay.
And also don't be the kind of person that likes to shout everything through dressing.
Wow. So sometimes
Makeup.
it's good to keep it simple.
Yes.
Great,
sometimes.
great. Well said. Well, you are onto Hot Button, and we are talking about dress sense and how it affects a relationship. And we have said quite a number of things here that we believe will be beneficial to you, especially as you go on with your relationship. Now, let's look at this quickly before we go. When does dress sense or makeup become a cause for concern?
I think dress sense or makeup becomes a cause for concern when you start to feel uncomfortable or I don't know if threatened will be too big a
Well, you
word.
can. There are
Yes,
times
when
people
you
could feel threatened.
Yes, so
Okay.
when you start to feel uncomfortable, for instance, if I'm the kind of person that does not like to use makeup so often, and I have a partner that would always want me to be on makeup, or always want me to dress in a particular way, to the expense of my own comfort,
Okay.
it can become a matter of concern. Because
Okay.
at that point, I'm not dressing for my own happiness. I'm not dressing for you.
For you, yeah.
And at
Exactly.
the end of the day, I don't think that will be good. So when I start to feel uncomfortable, when I start to feel threatened, makeup or dress sense becomes a matter of concern.
Concern. Okay, let's hear from you.
Yes, I think when someone has put on makeup at the expense of their comfort, that's when it starts to become threatening. And at the expense of like their self-esteem, because self-esteem has to go like a long way. See very, very brilliant people, but they're always quiet because like they feel like, oh God, I don't look serious, so people won't take me seriously. So like at the expense of people's self-esteem, people confidence, if we start to see people around us, they can't do without it, we know that, okay, this is serious, then we should sit down and have a talk with the person.
Very important. And we take a look at 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 9 and 10. And Paul tells Timothy, women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel. Women doesn't mean it's only women that dress. So right now we'll paraphrase by saying, men and women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel, clothing, with modesty and self-control. So, in our dressing, we must dress modestly so that we do not communicate something negative about our personality. It is on this note that we draw the curtains today, hoping that you'll be there with us same time when we come on your screen again. Bye for now.